Early warning signs of contract failure. Don't want to wait for the contract or the project to fail at the end of the project. You can just sense it from these different key performance indices from different departments or different stakeholders. The first and foremost reason of a contract failure is finance. Construction is a business. So when finance is not properly managed in a business, obviously it ends in failure. So let us see what are the warning signs as you can see financially. Poor cash flow management between the client and the contractor. This is a very important reason for failure of contracts. Even if the contractor backloads the cash, the client should not allow it for the contractor, because the client also should have the cash flow management mentality to support the contractor, because supporting the contractor is supporting the project to finish it on time. Contractors struggles to pay the subcontractors. Work slowdowns. They also struggle to pay the salaries to the key employees. And that puts down the overall enthusiasm and the motivation of the project. Increasing claims for variations and cost escalations without clear basis. It means that claims that goes out of control. The budget is not under the control. The scope is not under the control. Frequent requests for advance payments or ad hoc payments. The contractor keep asking the client that yes, we will finish the project, but you releases the payment. We are having the cash flow issues. So a financially weak contractor rarely delivers a strong project in construction. Next is the schedule or progress warning signs. Multiple revisions of baseline schedule. It says that there is no control over the schedule, or the schedule is not being followed. The schedule is just being updated or revised based on the site scenario. Repeated slips on the critical path activities. Contractor depending heavily on the float to hide delays. They start dating up the floats even in the very early stage of the project. Frequent client instructions to accelerate. If there are frequent emails from the client saying that please accelerate, please mitigate, the project is slipping. So that has to be, the higher management has to keep an eye on it. And if more such transaction in emails are being copied to you, then you have to take an immediate action. Lack of credible recovery plans. They submit a recovery plan, but that's not credible, because we know already that they're going to slip this recovery plan. Technical design warning signs. So we have certain signs right from the engineering stage itself. A high number of design changes even before or after IFCs. Reworks, demolitions due to poor design. The vendor or consultant approval stuck for a long duration. It means that there is some issues in the design, manufacturing design or the fabrication design submitted by them. Engineering deliverables getting consistently delayed, not just for the reason of minimum resources, that might be reason for technical capability. Weak interface management system between the engineering disciplines, because there are a huge number of disciplines: civil, mechanical, MEP, electrical, instrumentation. There are so many number of divisions, the process comes in. So interface is not an easy job. Contractual or legal warning signs. So when the contractor issuing excessive contractual notices. So I myself has said in many videos that notices or communications, you have to keep communicating with the client or the contractor to know what is happening at the site. So if there are frequent notices, then there is a serious problem which has to be addressed. Owner frequently rejecting or ignoring legitimate notices. That's also a warning. Ambiguity in interpretation of contract clauses between the stakeholders. An engineer interprets in a different way, the employer interprets in a different way, and the contractor interprets in a very different way. An early involvement of lawyers. I have worked in certain projects where the kick-off meetings lawyers are being involved. Dispute escalation to DAB or arbitration instead of being resolved on site. If it's not being solved between the human to human and we are always seeking for a DAB interface, then that is a serious problem. Relationship or communication warning signs. Us versus them. It goes with both the ways, either employer or contract. Project meetings becoming more adversarial than collaborative. They just come, fight, blame each other, and just leave. Key decisions getting delayed due to mistrust. Reports are manipulated to hide the actual bad news. These things you will find in a very later stage that the reports are being manipulated when you actually do a forensic analysis. Emails replacing face-to-face problem solving. Field executions, especially on the construction side. Productivity consistently below planned benchmarks. See, it can go down for a certain period and it has to be accelerated also in certain period. It should not be consistently below the benchmark. High staff turnovers, that is, the key persons keeps on changing. If a project manager keeps on changing in a project, that is an high sign that the contract will fail. Increase in safety violations and incidents. Subcontractors slowing work due to non-payment. You can see that visibly. Lack of adequate manpower, equipment, or material on site. So whatever they have said that they will mobilize at the time of construction, if the actual mobilization is not as per the agreed histograms, then it's a very clear sign that this project is not going to be completed on time. Interface and supply chain risks. Delay in mobilization of major subcontractors. Long lead items. Some items will take more than a year to deliver. In power sectors like turbines, compressors, in oil and gas sectors like gas monitoring systems, fabricated items which will take minimum 12 months for the delivery. Interface issues between civil, structural and MEP contractors. If not being resolved, they will become disputes. No proper interface register or ownership of dependencies. Interface registers are very underrated. And interface meetings, coordinations. You have to have a dedicated coordinator to do the interface meetings. Vendor data packages delayed. If vendor package data are delayed, it affects the downstream works. The site will be ready, the material will not be on site. If the material is on site, that delay will have a delay in impact of interfaces and commissioning. Thanks for watching.